Now to discuss pass-through charges, we have Attorney Maria Corazon Guinness, Director for Legal Service of the Energy Regulatory Commission. Attorney, welcome to our program. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning.
Thank you very much, and good morning to both of you, and to all those who are watching this show.
Alright, Attorney, no, at least para maintindihan ng viewers natin, ano ba talaga ang pass-through charges? Kasi sometimes we get our bills, ang daming nakasulat na charges and walang understanding of what they are. So ano po yun?
Okay. When you say pass-through, pag sinabi natin na pass-through charges, ito yung mga charges na related din sa sa electricity, no, sa consume ng electricity, pero hindi siya napupunta sa Meralco or the distribution utilities, sa provincial man yung mga electric cooperatives. So among all of the charges present in the current bill, it is only the distribution, supply, and metering charges which go to the distribution utilities. Ito lang, itong tatlo lang. Everything else are pass-through. So yung kagaya nung sa generation, sa transmission, yung mga charges na yon, ibinabayad din doon sa mga generation companies and to NGCP para doon sa transmission. Taxes are also being paid and remitted to the government. Yung mga ibang mga charges naman ay subsidies. Okay, so hindi siya napupunta sa mga distribution utilities din, pero ito ay tulong dun sa mga nangangailangan. Like for example, the Lifeline subsidy. It is for the 40s and the marginalized end users. The senior citizens discounted, obviously, it goes to the senior citizens. For the universal charges, one for missionary electrification, those goes to subsidizing the consumption of consumers located in the off-grid areas. Kasi yung mga nasa off-grid, yung mga generation companies nila, kukunti lang, kung minsan isa lang. So yung cost ng generation is mataas. So the difference between the true cost of generation and what the customers are paying, yung tinatawag namin na SAGAR, yung subsidized average generation rate, kinukuha doon sa UCME, yung Universal Charge for Missionary Electrification. Yun namang isa, yung what you call UCEC, Universal Charge for environmental charge. Those charges go to NTC for the maintenance of our watersheds. Para laging forested and maintained, para ma-maintain yung ating mga dams.
Attorney, sige,
Yes.
go ahead po, go ahead.
Okay. So yun namang iba, yung FIT-all and yung JA-all, these are charges that incentivize those and renewable energy developers. They according to Republic Act number 9513, yun yung RE law natin that was issued way back in 2008. These RE developers, in order to increase the market penetration of this RE, they need some sort of incentives. No? So, meron tayong tinatawag na FIT rate, feed-in tariff rate. Ito yung FIT, yun naman mga pumasok through the Clean Energy Auction or GEA, ito yung GET. So the difference between the true cost of electricity and what they recover as either FIT or GET, that is taken care of, that is sourced from either the FIT-all or the GEA-all. Yung tawag doon, yung FIT-all, FIT allowance. Yung GEA is GEA allowance.
Okay, attorney, masyado pong maraming mga terminologies.
Yes.
Oo.
Yes.
Para po dun sa ating mga ordinaryong mamamayan, we're talking about po yung pass-through charges. Sabi nyo nga po, hindi naman po ito napupunta talaga sa Meralco. Hindi ito kita ng Meralco. Actually, in fact, this has been collected since 2001, if I'm not mistaken. Ano?
Yes.
Paano po ba yung pagkukompute? No? Ano po ba yung pagko-compute na ginagawa po para dito, specifically sa pass-through charges? Ano po yung mga contributing factors that could cause sa pass-through charges to increase or decrease? Sino po nag-regulate nun?
Okay. Yung kada charge, no, may iba-ibang
Opo.
sistema yan.
Mm-mm.
It is iba-ibang proseso yan. Yung sa generation, the commission approves power supply agreements.
Mhm.
So, nandoon yung kung ano yung rate na ipapasa.
Mhm.
Yung generation kasi, the supply of electricity used by distribution utilities to convey electricity to their consumers
Oh,
could
so
either be
nagfa-fluctuate. Mm-mm.
coming from power supply agreements or purchased through the WESM, yung wholesale electricity spot market natin.
Oo.
So, if these two charges mixed, ito yung tinatawag namin na blended rate. So, ito yung ipinapasa. Okay. Yung second naman, yung sa ancillary services for the transmission, ina-approve din namin. It's also another kind of power supply agreement, but this time it is between NGCP and the generation company. Yun namang government taxes, may specific percentage, it's 12%. So ang sabi, sales of generation, transmission and distribution are subject to VAT. So you just have to impose 12% on the total cost of each of these line items. And then yung universal charges naman, yung universal charges for missionary electrification and environmental fund, there are also applications filed by NTC, and we also approve those. Same with the fit allowance at saka yung JOL. So these are all separate applications that are filed. Yung senior citizens, it's imposed by law. So yung process na
Yes.
lang ang tinitignan namin, ang siniset namin sino yung entitled, and same goes to with the lifeline rate. Nagbago lang kasi recently in 2021, those who are entitled to the lifeline subsidy. Before, it was based purely on consumption. So, in the Meralco franchise area, if you were consuming 100 kilowatt hours or less, then you enjoy some sort of a subsidy. But then, in 2021, the government changed its policy. Ang sabi na lang, dapat ang tulungan lang natin ay yung talagang nangangailangan ng tulong. So, the policy change from pure consumption into the sectors of society who really need it the most. Yun na yung 40s at saka yung marginalized end users.
Attorney, siyempre, ang tanong ng marami, no? Kasi alam naman natin dito sa Philippines, madami tayong social classes, iba-iba ang income level. Ang tanong nila, paano ba kino-compute nyo yung pass-through charges na yun, di ba? Is it depends on kung ano yung konsumo mo or kung ano yung location ng land? Kasi may mga ibang places na yung community is more upscale, iba ang way daw of charging, yan ang sabi nila.
Hindi naman. Kasi pag nag-approve kami, let's say for example of power supply agreements, meron kasing variable doon, yun yung fuel cost. So, yun yung monthly na nag-change. So, let's say for example, ang fuel mo is coal. So, the fuel cost will be dependent on the prices of coal in the world market. So that is something that the commission confirms once every 3 years. Kaya nga kung minsan nagkakaroon tayo ng either mga refund o kaya collection to determine kung tama ba yung ipinasa na charges sa atin. So there's that mechanism. We cannot do a monthly approval. So that's the kind of mechanism that we have done in order to check whether what has been passed on to the consumers are the correct charges.
Siguro mas maganda, mas mabigyan ng
More time.
at saka information yung mga consumers natin. Kasi the reason why we're talking about this is because nagkaroon nga ng mga usap-usapan sa social media tungkol dito sa pass-through charges at ngayon pa lang natin to na ipapaintindi sa kanila. But for the meantime, maraming salamat po, Attorney, sa inyong oras. Magandang umaga po sa inyo, Attorney Maria Corazon Hines, Director for Legal Service of the Energy Regulatory Commission. Magandang umaga po sa inyo.
Thank you very much. Good morning.